Hey guys, so I wanted to make this video dedicated to talking about something that they themselves teased in the New Year's greeting section of the news here. So let's just quickly read this middle portion here and we'll talk about what is the interesting portion of this. So there isn't much time left in Legends Festival, but we're planning on introducing a new character tag in January 2023, and we will be holding a special tournament at Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour 2023. So for this video, I want to speculate and think about what potentially could this tag be. So first and foremost, I just wanted to clear up any confusion you guys might have about this announcement here. This is not referencing a new tag character. So for example, this is not referencing a new tag like Tag Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta, Tag Vegeta and Trunks, Tag 17 and 18. It's not a character. This is an actual new tag, such as this. Absorption, Android, Angel, blah, blah, one of these. There's going to be a new one of these tags introduced into the game in January. So with them saying January 2023, this to me is inferring that the new LF character, whatever LF we're getting this month, will be introducing a new tag into the game. So I guess I want to talk about what I would hope the tag is going to be, as well as some other possibilities we could see in a new tag. So the first thing I will say about adding a new tag into the game is, if we compare this to Dokkan, so Dokkan obviously has categories, whereas in Legends we have tags. Now the main difference between tags and categories is categories, you have specific leaders for your team in Dokkan, whereas basically the way it works in Dokkan is, imagine if your team was just dictated from your leader slot in Legends. So you have a character in Legends as your leader character. If the entire team's buffs were just based off of the leader character's Z ability, that basically is how Dokkan works. So you don't have to have your whole team buffing the same tag in their Z ability to make the team cohesive. It's solely based on the leader. So that does raise a pretty, I guess, big issue, I would say, for Legends, in that if they introduce a brand new tag into the game, like, I don't know, let's just pick a new tag. I don't know, Earthlings. If Earthlings is the new tag they introduce into the game, the problem with doing that is there is no character in the game as of right now that is buffing the Earthlings tag. So let's just take a look here. So if we go to, I don't know, let's just pick a different tag. I don't know. I mean, I guess sure we could do Earthlings, which would basically be like Super Warriors, I guess, in a way. Like Maju would be on Earthlings, right? So let's just go to, oh, he's not on, hold on, let me see something here. What am I doing here? There's Pan, I guess. Pan? All right, let's just pick hybrids, whatever. So if we look at hybrids, and I don't know, for a new tag, let's just say they introduce the tag for, dude, I don't know. I don't know. Let's look at the Dokkan list here for categories. Transformation boost. Although we kind of already do have a transformation boost tag. It's what, transforming warriors in Legends, they just never touch it. Goku's family, Vegeta's family, artificial life forms, youth. Artificial life forms could be a good one. Artificial life forms is like separate than regen. Let's go with artificial life forms. It's kind of like a mixture of androids and other like artificial characters. Like Boo is on here, Metal Cooler is on here. So like that kind of thing. Like I think Baby is on here. Is he? No, he's not. Yeah, it's a bunch of androids and like Boo and Metal Cooler and stuff like that. So let's just say this is going to be the new tag that comes out for Legends, right? If we go back to the character tag here, and then we go to androids, right? Because a lot of these androids characters would be on an artificial life form tag. Like, the problem with introducing a new tag like artificial life forms into the game right now is, let's just say the LF character for the artificial life form, it would be, I don't know, let's just say it's an LF Android 13 is the character that comes out for January. That's the LF character, and they're introducing this new artificial life form tag for the game. The problem is that if you want to build an artificial life form team, like, you can't there's no character that's buffing artificial life forms because the tag hasn't existed until now, right? So, I mean, you could build an android team, which would be fine, but in order to like combine like all these characters that would be an artificial life form, so I guess you would also pick like Metal Cooler would be on here, like all the different iterations of Boo would be on the tag as well. But you wouldn't be able to actually make that a viable team because none of the characters will be buffing each other with the artificial life form tag because it's not an any Z ability because it hasn't been in the game yet. So that's my one issue with introducing a new tag into the game right now. So I think the better way to do a new tag is instead of just making a brand new tag where it's just like gonna appear here at the bottom of the list, is to combine other tags that are already in the game. One of the big changes I have been advocating for a very, very long time is to combine Lineage of Evil and Frieza Force. Where's Frieza Force? Frieza Force. I think this is a tag. Well, these both are tags that should never have been separated in the first place. You have a lot of different equipment and a lot of different Z abilities that just don't mesh with each other that I think really just should mesh with each other. So like Frieza Force and Lineage of Evil, like they're pretty similar already, but the main difference is like Frieza Force obviously doesn't include any coolers. So this guy's not going to be in here, this cooler's not going to be in there. And then Frieza Force includes a lot of characters that aren't in Lineage of Evil. So we have characters like the Broly and Chilai Assist character. We have like Nappa in here. We have the Scouter Vegeta. We have all the different like Frieza henchmen, the whole Ginyu Force, Captain Ginyu. We have like Shisami, right? So once we end up getting a potential, I guess like Tagoma character. Tagoma's not in the game yet, right? Tagoma could be like a Ginyu version of Tagoma. We could have a new Ginyu. I think Ginyu is definitely worthy of getting at least a new 1% sparking on a banner. What else? Let's see. What else is on Frieza Force? We have young Nappa here. Again, every version of Saiyan Saga Vegeta's on Frieza Force. So, I mean, we don't have Monster Zarbon in the game. That could also be a character that's added to Frieza Force. And of course, if you guys have read the manga, there's a lot of manga characters that I think would also be included on here that aren't in the game. But you take all these characters from Frieza Force that are not on LOE, you take all the LOE characters that are not on Frieza Force, which is basically every cooler character, and you can just combine the tags together, and then what you do then is you take the Z ability, so if we go back to this Golden Frieza over here, and let's just say they combine the tags, and they name it like, I don't know, like what do you want to name it? The Planet Trade Federation or whatever it's called? I think that's what the dub calls it. That's basically like the entire Cold Army, which consists of the Frieza Force. So what would then happen is the Lineage of Evil portion of the buffs, like this would just become the new tag. So like everyone who's buffing Lineage of Evil and everyone who's buffing Frieza Force, like all their Z abilities would change to the new tag instead of these two tags. And that's how you would create this new tag. So I think that's the better way they could create a new tag in the game instead of just introducing a new one, because if you introduce a new one, like you know how many releases it would take to actually make a new tag relevant? Like let's just take a look at some of the better teams in the game right now. So let's take a look at, I don't know, let's go to the character list here. Let's pick up like movies. Let's do God Key. Let's do hybrids. Like those are just 3 good teams, right? So if we go Sagas from the movies here, we go God Key right here, and then we go hybrids over here. Like take a look at all the different characters that are buffing movies. You think a new tag would be able to compete with this? Look at all the characters that are buffing God Key. You think a new tag would be able to compete with this? Look at all the characters that are buffing Hybrid Saiyan. You think there would be enough characters for the new tag to compete with this? So again, the problem is the amount of characters that would be buffing the new tag with your Z ability would start out as 0. Unless they reworked like 20 characters in the game to also buff the new tag, which they would definitely, I don't think they would do that. The better way to do this by far is just to take existing tags. It could even be 3 different tags and like combining them into one tag. Like we have, dude, we have so many tags that are unused. Absorption. I'm just gonna go through every one of these tags that are not used. Absorption, Angel. I would even argue like Fusion doesn't need to exist because we have Fusion Warriors. Like the Fusion tag is literally just the Fusion dance. That's the only thing separating this from Fusion Warriors. Ginyu Force is, I guess, I understand why it exists, but this is never going to be a viable team unless they give us like a brand new free-to-play Ginyu Force at the same time and they're all good, which is not going to happen, I don't think. God of Destruction, Heraclan. Yeah, Heraclan, the best team ever. Kids. Legends Road's completely dead. Merging is, why does this exist? Minion. Namekian's never going to be a viable team. Otherworld Warrior is never going to be a viable team. Patara is the same boat as Fusion. What else? Wow, what a sad time it is for Rival Universe mains. This team is never going to be good again. Shadow Dragon, why does that exist? Honestly, Super Saiyan 2 doesn't need to exist. There's not enough Super Saiyan 2s in the series to even warrant this being a tag. Well, I get why it exists, but it doesn't, like, it's never going to be a good team. Same thing with Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan 4. Well, Super Saiyan 4, I guess maybe, but Super Saiyan 3, I don't think will be good enough. Definitely not Super Saiyan God. Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, probably not. Super Saiyan Rose, no. Super Warrior is always like on the cusp of being okay, but never really good enough. Team Bardock's definitely a no. Transforming Warrior is one that I think could legitimately be a good team, but they just don't have Z abilities that buff the team. Like, look at all the characters that are on here. This could be a good team to actually have be like a legitimate option for like a competitive team, but there's no character that buffs Transforming Warrior with their Z abilities. It's very strange. Twins, no. Universe 11, no. Universe 2, no. Universe 6, no. Universe 9, no. And then, yeah, that's it. So, look, dude, we have, I would argue, like, half to more than half of these tags don't even need to be in the game. I get the reason why they're in the game a lot of the time is just to give equipment bigger restrictions. So, like, there are certain equipment that, like, you know, only Absorption characters can use or only Transforming Warrior characters can use. So that's where a lot of these tags come into play. But in terms of actually creating like a viable team, I would say, again, more than half of these tags don't even need to be in the game. So if they can start revamping the tag system by combining, like, I don't know, let's just say that what if they combined Absorption and Transforming Warrior into one tag, and then they just took the characters that belong to both of these tags and gave, I don't know, if they chose like 20 characters from both of these tags, and just made them buff the tag with their Z ability, like, that would actually make the team good. Like, Absorption plus Transforming, what would this even be? I don't even know whatever they would call the combination of these two tags into one tag. Like, that would be a cool team, right? We'd have a lot of different options here. Although I think there's a lot of overlap, but that's fine. So like Transforming Warrior, I mean, this doesn't include any Boo characters. So you'd have a Transforming Warrior team with Boo characters. And then you'd have, you know, Omega in here as well. So like there'd be some good additions here. And then all of a sudden, guess what? You have a really nice base of a team here. Only problem is, again, like if we take a look at how they structured Future, like look at the difference here. So Future Z ability, we have all these characters. Guess what? Transforming Warrior has no characters that buff the Z ability. Guess what? Absorption has no characters that buff the Z ability. So if they did decide to do a tag of like Absorption plus Transforming Warrior, they would have to just go in and like give like the first, I don't know, 15 or 20 characters of each of these tags, like the actual ability to buff whatever the new tag would be with their Z ability, because otherwise the tag would just be dead on release. Like I don't know how else to say it. So I think if they were going to combine tags here and then like revamp how the tag works and give it actual characters that buff the tag with their Z ability, sure. And I think that is something that actually would help the game a lot, because again, a lot of these tags just don't even, like, there's no point for them to exist. Like, why is there a tag for merging? Like, what has this ever accomplished? This right here. Like, what is this? Why does this exist? Why is this here? What purpose does it serve? It doesn't serve any purpose. So that could be something that they take a look at this year moving forward, is like revamping the tag system. Could be interesting. But my personal, obviously with me being a Frieza fan here, I would want them to combine Lineage of Evil and Frieza Force into one tag. That's actually something I've been asking them to do for a very, very long time, because it would help the team, right? Because right now this Lineage of Evil team is literally just Frieza and Cooler, because for some reason they just don't want to give us a King Cold. And Chilled, I guess, exists, but he's not really, I mean, he's just one character, right? So it's kind of a limited team. And if they keep wanting to buff the Lineage of Evil team, guess what? They got to go to one of two characters. And so they're going to have to keep giving us new versions of the same two characters over and over and over again if they want to buff this team. Whereas if they actually combine this into a team that is encompassing of both the Frieza Force and Lineage of Evil, all of a sudden they can give us a new version of like base form Broly, Wrathful Broly, a Ginyu, a Saiyan Saga Vegeta. They could give us a transforming monster Zarbon, some kind of new Ginyu Force characters. Like there's a lot of options. Raditz, like Raditz could actually get a decent card, like a new 1% sparking from a banner. But there's a lot of ways they can buff this iteration of the team if they do combine these two tags together that could help, instead of just releasing the same two characters over and over and over again. As much as I love Frieza and Cooler, I mean, how many different kinds of Friezas and Coolers can we get before it becomes redundant, right? So that's, I think, something that they could do for sure to make these tags more enticing for a lot of players too. So let me know down below what you guys think could be coming as a result of them saying that they're going to be introducing a new tag this January, so this month, literally. And yeah, excited to see what you guys have to say. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.